Thanks for tuning in here today. Today we're going to be doing a nice little fun painting. I hope you follow along with me. Uh, we're going to finish this painting once and for all, hopefully. Well, no, I'm not going to say hopefully. Once and for all, we're finishing today's painting. Um, let me have another place across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me while they're doing that. Let me tell you what we have up here. So I haven't allowed it to dry completely. It's semi-dry where it's like almost dry, but you can pick up a little bit of paint, which is all right. I'm fine with it. Um, so we're just gonna get started and just go because you guys saw how long uh, last week's video took. That one took a good hour, and geez, we don't want to be here for 1 hour, so time's ticking. So just gonna go and make the other evergreen trees. Just going into some nice dark color here. And let's go ahead and just come up here and just tap out the tree. We'll figure out the rest when time comes, but tap it out. I know I said that for the other one and I took my time. Right now, all I want is basic. So just tap it out. We'll bring it all together in the detail. I watched the playback from last week's video and oh god, I saw where I did wrong. But it's alright. And what I mean by did wrong was where I could have made it gone a little quicker. Um, but there's nothing wrong with taking a little longer time. I think it was a good thing I took a little longer because also it shows you guys take your time, slow down. We all want to go 90 miles per hour, 100 miles per hour. You have to slow it down and go 20, 25. Right now I'm going like 50, trying to speed it up a bit, but it's important when needed, slow down. Gotta add more color onto here. There. There we are, and we'll go into some more black. You never want to go pure black. You always want to add other colors and blend them in. There. We want a nice, rich contrast shadow because it's close up. And that way also when you have your highlights, they'll stick out a little more. There we are. There. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's add in a nice little highlight right here. We're just gonna tap him in. The highlight lives in your brush. You could kind of tell the difference on why I took my time over here, but for demonstration purposes, you gotta keep it going. I'll fix it up and make it look nicer, but it won't look as nice, but it'll still look pretty nice. There. Just mix some color up and there we go. There. Okay. Let me clean off my brush a bit and we can, I'm gonna use my 1 inch. We can just sort of tap it out. Just make it where it blends a bit. That way you don't have a harsh line of highlights and shadows. There, I'm satisfied with that. Let's put on the extra little highlight. Con mi miedo. Here we go. We'll add a touch of bright red. Try not to overdo it as well. That's too much bright red. It's looking too orange. Let's add some white. There. Okay. Just back and forth. This kind of the style I wanted the first one, a little more looser, more quicker, but I forgot where I was going with the first one and I just went a little more detailed. But that's alright. That's alright. There. Okay. You can kind of like lift up a bit. Just like if you're doing a little bit of cloud motions, but also kind of like pushing up a little bit. I'm trying to focus, but also give you guys some commentary. That way, you know, well, look, kind of lift up, but also pull down. Bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully, the camera catches it because I feel like sometimes I'm not good at explaining. I feel like, but as long as people understand it, I'm okay with it. Okay, there we are. We'll go into ivory black and just nice good shadow color. We'll go a little bit of blue in there. More black though. Blue is just to make it kind of appear like a cool color. Needs its nice shadows with its highlights. Gotta have dark with light and light with dark. There. The issue that the tree had earlier was the shadows weren't dark enough, so it wasn't allowing it to pop. You need to have enough contrast in order for it to pop. There. And yeah, it's very important you know where to place your darker tones, where to place your lighter tones. I don't know how to teach that. Um, I feel like it's more of a judgment type thing. Can't I could be mistaken, but I feel like you can't really teach that. You have to kind of practice and get a feel for it, really. But how I said, I can be mistaken, and I hope I am, because that way you guys can learn, and I know, you know, it's not something I'm trying to hold back. Okay, we got those two trees, and we're gonna go ahead, add a little bit of brown to our blue and black. Right before I forget, we're gonna come up here. You know what? Let's do it here. Just a nice old stick that lives out there. There. We'll come back to that. Now, now, we'll come back to the trees on this other side in a sec. What I want to do, what I want to accomplish in the front, I want a little bit of indication of some closer up grass. So I'm gonna grab white and yellow. Just mushing it in, and maybe you start to see a few little indications. I'm just pushing down on my brush, so I tried opening up my bristles as much as I could, and all I'm doing is kind of pushing down just on those edges, and really just, we're gonna come back and add a little more detail, but I I want a little bit here and there. There, just about there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do the other ones. You know what? I don't feel like uh, taking a good while. We'll go with the 1 inch that we failed miserably the first time. But shoot, we're gonna use the side here, and right there. This is for the basic um, look that I'm trying to go. And also I'm trying to match this one. So I don't want it to get this down really. My brush is all open. I I haven't chiseled it really, but you learn to work with stuff. I'm not looking for a perfect tree right there. As you can tell, it doesn't look perfect whatsoever, but all I'm looking for is that nice indication. That way, it's like a guideline. So when you're doing your guideline, you don't expect for it to be all perfect. It's a guideline. This one will go off the canvas. Shoot. There we are. Just going back and forth, fixing up whatever details. And we're going to use a flat brush just to kind of fix up this mess. I think the flat brush would be the best brush to try to use to try to accomplish that look. Those are bigger trees. Maybe those are the parents. There we are. You see, you learn to work with things. Don't ever be scared to try something new. If you're always scared, you're not going to be able to see what works for you and what doesn't. Worst scenario is you just don't like that part of the painting and that's it. Plus, people aren't going to see it the way you judge it. People are going to be like, wow, I can never do that. And just give you so many compliments. Okay, a little bit of cadmium yellow in there and just have at it. Okay. And same thing for this one. Can't have it being left out. And just kind of tap it on both sides. That way that, because you can tell the other side's kind of green. I want to make the other side kind of more green. That way it kind of matches with the one over here. Okay, and we went into, by the looks of it, we went into cadmium yellow and white. Okay, just the corners there. I think right about there. Then it starts losing its brightness. And I'm gonna end it off right there. Okay, now we can go with our angle brush, a little bit of cadmium yellow, a little bit of white, and I can tell we use the angle brush, so I'm just gonna use it here and there, not to overdo it. You can kind of tap things out. And right over here. Okay. Okay. There we are. Just kind of blending that out a bit. Okay. We can go ahead. What value is this? Okay. We'll go into a little bit of cadmium yellow. Just got to look at colors and kind of test out what values and where it goes what. Again, it's, for me, I think it's a feel, but I could be mistaken again. It would get darker over here. We'll go back and give it some highlights. A little bit of black in there, just to darken up that corner. This corner should not be bright. The light doesn't hit it as much, so it should kind of lose its brightness. Cadmium yellow. And just a few little bits and pieces. I think right about there. And then we'll go into a little bit of white and yellow. Okay, we gotta tap these out. There we are. Okay. Okay. And then I'm gonna go into my single brush. Try to, what I mean by open is like push it in and open up the bristles, make it fray out and give me a weird pattern. We'll have it fade off. There. Maybe using the filbert brush might be better. There we are. Okay, so now let's go ahead, a little bit of green color, maybe just plop it in right there, and one over here. Now you gotta go into that color, add a little bit of white with your filbert, tap it in, and just a little bit of sun rays would be kissing through it. Just a little, don't overdo it. Let's go into a little bit of bright red. This gives us a nice orangey color. Let's come up here, maybe. Okay. Let's do it a little more. There. Now, for the top one, I'm gonna go with crimson. Probably saying, why not bright red? You have that on your palette. It's more vibrant. The bright red I'm gonna use for highlights. So, gotta save those. Okay. Come here and just doop, 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 doop. Okay. Okay. We'll go into some bright red. Has a little bit of that light color, but it shouldn't change much. I'm gonna add a little white to it, just a little. There. Look at that already. After so many videos, we're almost there. Just scratching in a few little things. We got a few little things left, but we're almost there. We're closer to the finish line. Okay, oh, I was gonna look for my flat brush. I have it right behind me, behind my palette. That's great. A little bit of brown, a bit of that light yellow color, and we're just gonna go ahead and tap it just slightly. There. There we are. And let's grab a little bit of black, a little bit that's left, a little bit of white that's left. It's gonna be better with this smaller angle brush. Black, a little bit of brown since I'm running out of black. You can reload. I just ran out. I have to go to the store and ask for their best, but no, kidding. I just have to look and see which one benefits me. There we are. Okay, a little bit of black, a little brown to it. A little more black. There. I don't want it too dark, but also I don't want it just pure brown. And you know what? Final detail before we end off this 4-part painting. Usually the most we've done was 2 parts, but God, this one took us a while. Oops, almost fell down. I'm just gonna get close to it and just kind of the angle brush. Just few little indications just here and there, as you can see. There. Yeah, it's alright with me. Well, that finally concludes the video for this painting. Next week, we're going to be doing a new painting. I'll make sure no more 4-part paintings. I'm tired of 4-part paintings. At most, we'll do 2 parts. At most. So, I really enjoy you trying this painting out, and I enjoy you guys tuning in and watching me spending your time here. I hope the best for you, the best health, the best friends, the best year, whatever you guys can think of. And I hope the best painting success for you guys if you're painting along with me. I know at times I could get frustrated, but just stick with it and it'll give you some success. I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in next week's video. Until then, take care, my friends. Goodbye.